Hey guys, so today we have seen another patch for the CTE of Battlefield 4, so some brand new features and changes are coming to the game very soon. Now today I wanted to talk to you about the entire idea surrounding CTE and the changes we are seeing to Battlefield 4, as well as some brand new information that could lead us to believe that the Final Stand DLC could be delayed. Of course, we haven't got an actual release date at the moment, but the date that DICE are planning on releasing it could be set back. Now before we jump in, today's gameplay is CTE footage using the MPX, one of the Dragon's Teeth weapons that we still can't get in the full version of the game. Of course, we still haven't got a release date for Dragon's Teeth yet. It really is starting to kill us now. When are we going to see this DLC? Hopefully it will be in the next 2 weeks, in the first half of July, because as I said, CTE servers aren't often very populated, and when they are, they're normally just 64-man games on things like Operation Locker and Operation Metro, which, to be honest, aren't the best experience. So I really want this DLC to come out now, not only for the brand new maps in game mode Chainlink, but I just want the chance to use the MPX, the Bulldog, and all these new weapons on game types and maps that I actually want to play. Now, out of the CTE servers that I have been able to join so far, I have to say the MPX is definitely a weapon that stands out to me. If you haven't seen my first impression / kind of review of that weapon, I will leave it linked at the end of the video, but so far the MPX is definitely a brand new weapon to look out for, probably the best weapon with the Dragon's Teeth DLC, and no doubt it's definitely going to be the best PDW we've seen so far. So, in the patch for CTE last night, we did see several changes, some of which, interestingly, I had mentioned in my previous video, one of which is now the addition of several UI transparency options available in your advanced settings. Now, this allows you to choose how transparent your HUD and your UI surrounding your screen is. Now, as I said, sometimes I think Battlefield 4's HUD and UI can be very cluttered, so making all of that UI around the screen a little bit more transparent takes the glare off it, and hopefully things shouldn't look as cluttered. Now, as I mentioned in my previous changes video, DICE are working heavily to try and improve Rush, and this time the map in question is Zavod 311. Now, looking at these changes, DICE clearly think the attacking team have the advantage because they've removed the transport helicopter for the attacking team, the ATVs from the 4th base, and the IFV from the 2nd base. So they clearly think the defending team need a little bit of help. Now, interestingly, they've actually changed the levolution. Originally in Rush on this map it was automatic. As the map moved up to the section where you have the warhead, it would automatically detonate and cause levolution. That is no longer the case, so it will be manually detonated by, of course, turning on that timer. Now, how DICE actually think that changes the way the game of Rush really works, I'm not too sure, so it will be interesting to see how changing levolution from automatic to manual really makes that much of a big difference to the game. Now, on top of this, DICE have also now removed all the emplaced weapons from the 4th base. They've also added more cover, and they've edited the spawn point for the defending team. So DICE clearly recognise that taking that 4th base on Rush is very difficult on Zavod 311. So hopefully this should make things a little bit easier. They say they've edited the defending spawn. Now, obviously I haven't played it much yet, but I think they've actually pushed the defending spawn backwards. So hopefully they shouldn't be all over those MCOMs straight away as soon as they spawn. Now, this list of changes goes on and on, so I will leave it linked in the description below if you want to read all of the changes. We are seeing more changes to Rogue Transmission and some further changes to Rush on Siege of Shanghai. Now, moving away from CTE, I want to talk to you guys about Final Stand. Now, as I said at the start of the video, we still don't have a release date for Dragon's Teeth, which to say it is hopefully going to come out in the next 30 days or so, to not even have an estimated release date yet is very unusual. But to make things even more confusing, on Twitter last night, a user called Ruben Santana, Antal120, he runs a Battlefield News Twitter account, I will leave him linked in the description below, he noticed that on the Battlefield website with all the DLCs, it now says that Final Stand now says TBD, or to be decided. Now, originally, of course, it did say, I think, either summer 2014 or fall 2014, but those dates have now been taken away, and it now just says to be decided. So, Ruben asked Dan Mitra and Vincent, of course, the community managers for Battlefield, have we seen this expansion pack being postponed? And they just replied saying, more news soon, hold tight. So they didn't deny the fact that this DLC has been postponed, but they also didn't confirm it. But they did say more news is coming soon. So it looks like we could probably see a postponing of that DLC. Maybe it's set back because of the next beta for Battlefield Hardline, or maybe work for that, or maybe even just continue development on the CTE. So at the moment, it does look like we may see a postponing of the Final Stand DLC, and we may not be receiving it when we originally expected. So, as always, I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. Was this something you expected? To be honest, with the new Hardline beta coming out later this year, and of course the full release of that game, seeing the Battlefield 4 DLCs put on hold whilst they work on these new titles and stuff to be released isn't very surprising. But of course, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit like and leave all your thoughts and comments below. They are massively appreciated. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.